William Blake's finest work as an artist is the series Inventions to the Book of Job. Inventions to the Book of Job is the series, and this is one of the finest works of William Blake. The distant huntsman winds his on, so early in the morning, these people, the birds, now the huntsman in a distant, he blows his horn, and the skylark sings with me. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How can a child, when fears annoy, but droop his teacher's wing and forget his youthful spring? Hello students, I am Anil, lecturer, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. In this session, we are going to look at a poetry titled The Schoolboy by William Blake. William Blake is a poet and a painter. He had little formal education, but was apprenticed to James Bassir, an eminent engraver, and then sent to the Royal Academy. So that is his education. William Blake's finest work as an artist is the series Inventions to the Book of Job. Inventions to the Book of Job is the series, and this is one of the finest works of William Blake. His collections of poetry include political sketches, songs of innocence, marriage of heaven and hell, and songs of experience. These four are his collections of poetry. This poem, which you are going to study right now, The Schoolboy, is a lyric from the Songs of Experience. So it is from the Songs of Experience this poem has been taken from. Let us see what's there in the poem, The Schoolboy. The poem begins like this. I love to rise in a summer morn, when the birds sing on every tree, the distant huntsman winds his horn, and the skylark sings with me. Oh, what sweet company! But to go to school on a summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away. Under cruel eye outworn, the little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. Ah, then at times I drooping sit, and spend many an anxious hour, nor in my book can I take delight, nor sit in learning's bower, worn through with the dreary shower. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How can a child, when fears annoy, but droop his teacher's wing and forget his youthful spring? Oh, father and mother, if birds are nipped and blossoms blown away, and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day by sorrow and care's dismay, how shall the summer arise in joy, or the summer's fruits appear? Or how shall we gather what griefs destroy, or bless the mellowing year when the blasts of winter appear? Now let's analyze each sentence and understand what is the intention of the poet. I love to rise in a summer morn. So this poet, in the western part of the world, the countries are situated on the northern pole, near to northern pole. They enjoy, summers are not harsh as they are on the equator. So here, they love summer mornings. So here, the poem signifies that. I love to rise in a summer morn when the birds sing on every tree. There is happiness in every tree. The distant huntsman winds his horn. So early in the morning, these people, the birds, now the huntsman in a distant, he blows his horn, and the skylark sings with me. So the skylark, the birds, the huntsman, everybody is happy. Everything seems to be happy, and everything is actually happy. What a sweet company. So this entire thing that the poet describes, that is the sweet company for him. So he loves to join them, the singing birds, the huntsman who is getting ready to go to his work, and the skylark which is singing. Now he highlights, but to go to school. The formal education is what the poet is targeting here. But to go to school on a summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away. If I recall, if I think that I need to go to school, then it drives all joy away. Under cruel eye outworn. This is under the cruel eye outworn, under the strict control of the teachers. The little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. Those little ones, the children, they spend their day not happily, but in a sorrowful state. Oh, then at times I drooping sit. Now the poet is talking about himself. And at times I sit drooping. I have lost all the interest in listening to the teachings. I drooping sit in an unhappy mood and spend many an anxious hours. He does not say exciting hours, he says anxious hours. Oh, when does this class get over? Nor in my book can take delight. So even when I read my books, there is no happiness. Nor sit in learning's bower. He is metaphorically comparing this learning bower to the school. The school is the learning bower. Worn through with the dreary shower, with the boring teachings, everything is getting very harsh, unhappy. The poet is comparing something that is freedom outside the school and something which is in the school, which is like a prison. How can the bird that is born for joy? Now he is comparing children to the birds with wings. They are longing for freedom. So now he asks the readers, how can the bird that is the children, they are born for joy. How can they sit in a cage and sing? So when you put them in a jail, when you put them in a prison, how can they sing? How can they be happy? How can a child, when fears annoy? So when a child sits in a classroom, it fears the teachers. It is not at all happy to sit in between four walls. But droop his tender wings. It cannot spread. A child cannot spread its wings and fly and forget his youthful spring. So he compares youthfulness to the spring. So all his youthful days are gone inside the school. So how can a child also be happy inside the school? Now the poet addresses the parents of the children. Oh, father and mother, if buds are nipped in a plant, if the buds are nipped, if the buds are nipped and blossoms blown away, so all the blooming flowers, if they are blown away by a harsh wind, and if the tender plants are stripped, those plants, they are still tender, they are not strong. When they are nipped, when they are cut, when they are stripped of their joy in the springing day, in their youthful days, if you take away all their joys, putting them into formal kind of an education, where you can't see anything outside, but you are in a box, in a room, by sorrow and care's dismay. So you are restricting the freedom of children doing all this. What will happen if you do everything to a child? A child is like a bud, a tender plant, which will blossom. But what happens? Its freedom is restricted. How shall the summer arise in joy? If that thing happens, then youthful days, how can there be joy? Or the summer's fruits appear? So how can, if its freedom is restricted in the beginning, how can you expect something out of them? So the summer's fruit appear how? Or how shall we gather what griefs destroy? So how shall we gather something that has been destroyed by grief? Or bless the mellowing year when the blasts of winter appear. So he says, or the blessings of mellowing year, blessings of the upcoming year when the blasts of winter appear, when the age gets over. So how can you regain what you have already lost? So here the poet is talking about the child which loses its freedom inside four walls, which goes through a formal kind of an education. The poet is in support of students going outside, being one with the nature and learning in their youthful days. Now there are some words for you. Huntsman is a hunter. Winds his horn means he blows his horn. A cruel eye outone, authoritarian ways of teaching, the control way of teaching. Dismay means feeling of fear and discouragement. Anxious, our restlessness of the school child. Learning bore, it's a metaphorical comparison of school. Dreary shower, here it emphasizes tiresome aspects of the school. Dreary shower, something which is tiring again and again. Blasts of winter, strong gusts of winter, snowstorm. So here it is also compared to the upcoming years. When the youthful days are restricted so far in the formal kind of an education, then what would you take out of a child's growing year? In this poem, The Schoolboy, the poet William Blake is talking about a boy's intuition, a boy's happiness that lies in learning being part of the nature, not restricted by the four walls. That separation is like cutting off their freedom and driving away all their joys. The poet tries to explain that a child should learn being in the nature. If you restrict too much of a child's development, thinking that authoritarian way of teaching or classroom teaching is good, the poet says, if that is done, a child's education may not be complete. Therefore, he writes the poetry, the school boy who gets bored inside the classroom, but he wants to be part of something that is outside the four walls. The freedom, singing bird, singing skylark, the huntsman, and a summer morning. That child does not want to sit in the classroom at the same point of time. With this, we shall meet in the next class. Thank you.